Game number 3 is going to be Habitation Station. Elfi is going up against Apocalypse, and we are already on the game. And starting to the top right, we have our Terran player, the Korean Terran player. It is Apocalypse. He's currently down 0-2 in the best of 5 series against his opponent. Let's see if he can start a comeback. And starting to the top left, we have his opponent, the Protoss player, starting for Finland here. This is, of course, Elfi, this time without the yawn. Let's see what he can do.
He's fully woken up.
Yeah, he has finally woken up. Probably got himself a coffee during the break that we just had.
Samuel Sivonen.
I am not even going to try to pronounce that.
All right. So we already see that Apocalypse didn't take a page out of Marine King's book. Didn't lift off his command center right away to land it at the 3rd.
I mean, one of my favorite moments in StarCraft, and I've been going on about this in the past already a little bit, was when, I think it was back then, 2011 ESWC, when Marine King suddenly on one of those bases on, it was actually on Antigua Shipyard, when he decided to just fly his command center once again to the gold base, and he was already halfway towards the gold when he realized it was the new updated version without gold mineral patches.
And then?
He flew his command center back and won the game anyway.
No!
Yeah.
No!
So it was just like, he lifted it and I'm like, oh my god, what is he doing? There are no gold patches here. And he flies down
anyway.
He's like, uh-oh, and flies back and still wins.
I can't believe it.
I think that was against HeyPro, but I'm not 100% sure, but that back then that was hilarious.
Oh my god.
It was very impressive though. I mean, most players would probably just have left the game right away, but you know Marine King's GG timings worked out quite well for him there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a fun game. But we haven't seen that quite that often just yet in the Heart of the Swarm just yet. So maybe on this map it happens a little bit more often. I actually saw a picture, I think, on Reddit where one player did it. I can't really recall which game it was.
I know Hero Marine sometimes does it.
Yeah.
So the question always is, do you keep the probe out, or do you let him in and never let him out? That's the one that Apocalypse chose now, willingly or unintentionally. The supply depot was lowered, so it does seem like a rather cold invitation to stay forever in Apocalypse's base. Gas was spotted by Elfi, and I believe only 2 SCVs were mining, so yeah, now he's stopped completely. He just got enough gas to make a reactor, and it's going to make a command center, so very similar to a 1 barracks, no gas expansion, where you're basically only mining minerals. With that one, you do it from 1 barracks and then 3. Now he can make just a 2nd barracks because he has a reactor. And it's the mind game really that's at work here, because how much gas are you going to be mining? Are you going to be making a factory? I have got to find out. So watch for the mothership core maybe trying to do a fly into the Terran base, and if Apocalypse can properly zone it out with his Marines, he can maintain the illusion that he's making a factory, whereas he's just mining minerals and getting Marines and SCVs.
I feel just in general in the last few games that we have once again Elfi going into that 4 gate.
And no 2nd base?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was just about to say, like, the one thing that I have to mention about game 1 and 2 is that I had the feeling that every time Apocalypse was caught a little bit off guard. He was never really in that comfort zone where he could play his own style. He was always put in a position where he suddenly had to defend and he had to adjust to what Elfi did.
And he didn't have proper defenses.
Yeah, I would really like to see what happens in the game if Apocalypse is the one who makes a move that Elfi doesn't really anticipate and is able to turn things around a little bit, and Elfi suddenly be the defender. Doesn't really look like we're going to see that in this game, though, because Elfi decides that it's time for a good old 4-gate. Told you he's going to be the one.
You said it.
Yeah.
You said it.
Old school style, 20 probes and you cut production, and now let's see how that's going to work out, because I'm pretty sure Apocalypse doesn't see that one coming.
We take us game 1 build, 4-gate blink, and we remove it the blink. What do we have? 4-gate.
Good old 4-gate style.
2 Marines in the bunker with a number of Marines stationed in the main base to defend against the Oracle, which isn't coming.
Exactly, and
Great
here we go.
Games.
He's already moving into the natural. Here comes that time warp, and the SCVs are there, of course, immediately. The Marines are making their way down to the ramp from the main base, and the repair is good. Apocalypse doing a great job here, even pulling more SCVs from the main base, and it looks like he's gonna hold.
Yeah, he did the time warp, hoping he can delay the SCVs long enough to take down a bunker, but the repair rate was higher than the damage rate. Now he's got to start working on SCVs or Marines. He chooses Marines, takes down the damage first, and then we'll have to start working on the SCVs. I'm not sure it's going to work. Nice focus fire thus far on the Stalkers by Apocalypse, and he's using SCVs as a combat utility. As long as his bunker stays up, it'll be very hard for elfi to break. 19 probes against 18 SCVs. He killed a number of SCVs, but because he produced so few probes himself, he's still at a large economic deficit.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why the 4 gates fell out of style a little bit, and that's exactly that. So Apocalypse now also with a second bunker building. And keep in mind that when we compare these SCV amounts or the worker counts, Apocalypse has 2 bases. He has 2 mineral lines. He has 2 SCVs that he can call down any point in the game. And with a stim upgrade nearly completed, do you think there is any chance that elfi is going to win this?
Do you?
No.
No. Me too.
Well, he's moving in right now, and this time he has sentries in the army, so he can go for the force fields and make sure that there's no repair. Bunker number 1 is gone. Here comes the time warp, and elfi is trying. He's trying to bully his way up the ramp, take down the second bunker, and win the game. But it looks very much like Apocalypse has too much here. Only 13 army supply for the Terran player, but he has that extra bunker, and stim is nearly done.
Yeah, trying to bum rush this bunker again. Even mules are helping here with the repair. He's not going to get that bunker down. Once the zealots are gone, the biggest DPS for the Protoss army is gone as well. And Stalker sentries don't want to take direct shots from Marines and Marauders. Now, remember in game 1 where Apocalypse defended the 4-gate blink well enough, but underinvested in the late game by delaying his factory and so forth? The opposite is true here. During all this, he got +1 finished. +1 upgrade, so he's actually upgraded elfi for now. And with stim ready.
Yeah, that's game. That's going to be the GG here, called by elfi. And Apocalypse wins game number 3 and starts a comeback here in the best of 5 series. Really happy about it as well.
Yeah.
It was a good defense there, and it was really caught off guard a little bit, but at the same time then, once that stim was done, you mentioned the +1 attack upgrade, very important here, of course, as well. So yeah, good job by Apocalypse. elfi taking a shot here, not really working out for him though.